Marie, I just got a phone call from some first-time buyers, and I've been trying to convince them that it's necessary for them to get pre-approved so that we can, you know, when we find a house, they'll be ready to make an offer and they'll know what they can afford. So maybe you could help me and with some ideas on what they need to do and what the benefits are of being pre-approved, because they don't really realize it yet.
Absolutely, and hands down, I'd recommend getting pre-approved and not pre-qualified. Now, people think that they're one and the same, but there's actually a big distinction between the two. And anytime you're working with a buyer, especially a first-time buyer, you want to make sure they're pre-approved. And the big difference between a pre-approval and a pre-qualification is with a pre-approval, you get a credit check so that you know what credit scores that the buyer has. And also, more importantly, the underwriter reviews the file. And then that way you know that once it's time for this buyer to move forward on a loan, that the underwriter's already pre-approved them and that the underwriter has okayed the terms that they come with. With a pre-approval, what you want to do is recommend for your client to meet with a lender. Face-to-face is ideal. It helps to break the ice. You feel more comfortable when you're talking with them in person. And I would recommend for them to bring pay stubs, W-2s, if they're someone who's self-employed, tax returns. Because one of the key things that lenders look for is your income, especially in today's environment with the guidelines changing daily. One of the key focal points for lenders is your debt-to-income ratio. And so we get that taken care of right away by knowing what your income situation is. But we'll talk about assets, what your capabilities are, what your goals are, and then we mesh all those numbers, and then we come up with a plan to get you into a house.
Is it a lot harder now to get pre-approval than it was, let's say, a year ago or so?
It's definitely a little bit more paperwork oriented than it was a year ago. Unfortunately, the last few years, lenders got a little bit more liberal in their underwriting ways, and so we're going through a correction in today's market. And so with that correction, lenders are being a little bit more particular about paperwork. So again, any information you provide to a lender, you need to make sure that you can back it up with paperwork. If you say you make this much money, you've got to have the pay stubs and the W-2s to back it up. If you say you have $10,000 in the bank, you've got to have the bank statements to bank that up.
Okay, thank you. I will relay that to them, and maybe you could give them a call when they're ready.
Absolutely.
Thank you.